The America of the 1960s lives on in our collective memory. But a world of everyday details has been lost to the relentless march of time. Today, we're stepping back into that vanished reality. We'll uncover the forgotten textures, sounds, and objects that made up daily existence. It's a story not of major events, but of subtle routines and quietly obsolete inventions that defined an era. Let's begin with the financial landscape. Back then, the typical yearly income was just over $5,000. This single salary could comfortably provide for an entire household. It covered the mortgage, the groceries, and even left room for a modest annual getaway. Economic pressure existed, of course, but the sensation of being permanently left behind wasn't yet a national pastime. The symbol of this stability was the classic suburban home. More than just architecture, it represented community. Front porches were stages for conversation. You knew the people on your block, swapped tools, and kept an eye on each other's kids. A sense of security wasn't something you bought. It was woven into the neighborhood itself. Key part of that morning rhythm was the arrival of the milkman. The sound of glass bottles hitting your doorstep meant breakfast was about to begin. Occasionally, he'd leave a special treat, a small bottle of chocolate milk, turning an ordinary Tuesday into a minor celebration. Clothing dried in the backyard, not in a machine. Stiff sun-dried towels carried a unique, crisp scent. It was an aroma of simplicity and a direct, tangible connection to the elements. You didn't just clean your clothes. You let the sky and wind finish the job. Pulling into a service station was an experience. An employee would approach, fill your tank, check your oil, and clean every window, all without you leaving the driver's seat. Payment was a handful of change and a nod. The interaction was personal, a moment of human service now almost entirely automated. Then there were green stamps. You'd collect them from purchases, painstakingly paste them into booklets, and dream of the catalog prizes. Finally redeeming them for a new appliance felt like a genuine victory. A reward for patience in a pre-instant gratification world. Looming over this domestic scene was a palpable, shared anxiety. The Cuban Missile Crisis cast a long shadow. Families kept radios close, tuned to urgent updates. School children practiced duck and cover drills, a hauntingly simple ritual meant to offer protection from an unthinkable threat. For a generation, the world felt like it was perpetually holding its breath. Fashion had its uniform. For many kids, saddle shoes were mandatory. You'd scuff them playing, then polish them back to a presentable state. They were a fixture of youth, loved and loathed in equal measure, representing an era of dress codes and shared style. Capturing memories required effort. Flashbulbs were single-use, popping with a bright light and a sizzle before burning out. You carried spares like a photographer going into battle. At gatherings, guests were repeatedly, temporarily blinded in the pursuit of one good shot. For virtual travel, there was the Viewmaster. This little device offered a window to other worlds through 3D reels. Clicking through scenes of national parks or cartoon adventures felt like genuine exploration, a tactile prelude to the digital age. The local barbershop was a community hub. Identified by its spinning pole, it was a place of trimmed hair, local gossip, and timeless conversation. You walked in, waited your turn, and caught up on everything happening in town. Home movies were an event. Setting up the 8mm projector, threading the film, and dimming the lights was a ceremony. The flickering, grainy images of birthdays or vacations, despite their flaws, were priceless. They held a warmth and authenticity that modern high definition can sometimes lose. Automobiles were rolling sculptures. Models like the Chevrolet Bel Air weren't just transportation. They were declarations of optimism and style, often adorned with dramatic tail fins. They represented freedom and a very specific vision of the future. Even the ice in your drink had a different origin. You wrestled with a clattering metal tray, yanking a lever to release cubes that often skittered across the floor. That manually freed ice somehow tasted colder, a small triumph of domestic effort. Car trips were less regulated. The back of a station wagon was a mobile playpen. Without seatbelts, children bounced, snacked, and squabbled. Their only restraint, a parent's instinctively outstretched arm during a sudden stop. It was chaos, but it was the normal, adventurous chaos of childhood. Elevators had conductors. A uniformed attendant would announce floors, operate the controls, and lend an air of ceremony to a simple ride. It was a moment of human-guided technology, now completely silent and self-service. The Polaroid camera was magic. You pressed a button, waited as the machine hummed, and watched an image slowly materialize on blank paper. The urge to shake the picture was almost universal, a shared superstition that bonded everyone in the moment. Vending machines were straightforward. You inserted coins, pressed a mechanical button, and hoped your chosen snack didn't get stuck. No screens, no cards, just simple mechanics and a satisfying thunk. The jingle of the ice cream truck was the anthem of summer. Hearing that tune meant dropping everything, scrambling for coins, and sprinting down the hot pavement. The treat tasted better because you had to chase it down. Lunchboxes were miniature fortresses. Made of sturdy tin and decorated with TV heroes, they protected a sandwich, a thermos that always smelled faintly of milk, in your midday pride. The latch might break, but the box itself was nearly indestructible. Saturday morning cartoons had a certain charm. Shows like Captain Kangaroo featured simple sets and puppets that looked, well, loved. The connection felt personal, as if the host was speaking directly to you, through the screen. Journeys to school were mini expeditions. You left with a backpack and basic instructions. Go straight there. Of course, detours were standard. You'd explore, maybe buy penny candy, and arrive home just in time for dinner, your minor rebellion complete. Music was a physical ritual. Click-a-spop of a vinyl record starting was a prelude to genuine listening. You learned which singles tended to skip and the makeshift fixes. Music wasn't background noise. It was the main event. Mom's purse held secret weapons. Style was a plastic bonnet, folded and ready for any storm. Among the contents, a compact plastic rain hood, neatly tucked away, could be deployed in seconds to protect a carefully set hairdo from a sudden downpour. It was practicality over fashion, always at the ready. Television was a group effort. One person manned the rabbit ears antenna, twisting slowly, while others shouted feedback. Left, stop, a little back. The victory of a clear picture felt like a technological triumph for the whole household. The streetlight was the universal curfew. Its glow was an unspoken command. When it flickered on, games ended instantly. Bikes turned toward home. No arguments. It was a law of nature, understood by every kid on the block. Penny candy was a treasury. A few cents could net you a small paper bag full of sugary treasures. Wax bottles with liquid centers, hard candies that changed color. Each piece was a tiny delight. No questions asked about ingredients or sugar content. Before search engines, you had encyclopedias. Salesmen promised smarter children, delivered in gold-lettered volumes that arrived weeks after ordering. They sat proudly on the shelf, a symbol of knowledge, even if you only ever opened the D volume for dinosaurs. Soda had a different bite. It came in returnable glass bottles, opened with a wall-mounted opener. The caps became tiny trophies lined up on a workbench. Worked a little for that refreshing fizz. Banks used tangible incentives. Opening an account might earn you a new appliance, a toaster, a blender. The gifts were often more immediately exciting than the interest rate. A clever bit of persuasion. Television brought families together literally. Shows like Gunsmoke or Bonanza were communal events. Commentary flowed freely. He's gonna draw. Watching was active, not passive, a shared narrative experience. The smell of a school handout was unforgettable. Mimeograph paper had a sweet chemical scent. That purple-inked page was handed out, and half the class would immediately lift it to their nose. It was the smell of school itself. Are you still traveling back with us? Type yes in the comments to let me know. Nostalgia isn't about the past. It's about the feelings we left there. Homemade lunches were simple economics. A slightly crushed sandwich, chips, and Appleland. The lunchroom became a trading floor for snacks. A cookie could be currency for a bag of pretzels. The slide projector signaled a long night. The click-thunk of the carousel meant you were in for a show of blurry vacation photos, narrated loudly by an enthusiastic relative. Staying awake through the entire show was a challenge. Typing class was a noisy, messy discipline. One typo meant starting the line over. Forgetting the carriage return spelled disaster. It was a lesson in patience and precision. Every car trunk held a relic, a scratchy wool blanket, rarely used, but always present. It was for emergencies or impromptu picnics, a relic of just-in-case preparedness. Sunday best was a test of endurance. Stiff, formal clothes made sitting through a long service an exercise in stillness. The reward? Maybe a peppermint from Grandma afterward. Popcorn was a workout. You shook a pot over a flame, your arm burning, until the kernels finally erupted. The smell filled the house, a prelude to a perfectly earned snack. TV dinners were modern marvels. Peeling back the foil revealed compartments of food that never cooked evenly. The Salisbury steak, the peas, the brownie, each bite was a testament to convenience, not cuisine. Christmas sparkled with metal. Tinsel was made of thin, delicate foil. We placed each strand carefully on the tree, where it caught the light beautifully. It stuck to everything, but that was part of the charm. Radio buttons were satisfyingly mechanical. Pushing one in made the others pop out. You preset your stations, and that satisfying click was your gateway to music and news. TVs had a warm, glowing heart. Behind the set, vacuum tubes emitted a soft orange light. If the picture failed, you'd pull a tube out and take it to the store for a matching replacement. Fixing things yourself was standard. Do you have a unique story about a forgotten invention? Share it below. Beauty sleep involved hardware. Women slept with hair wound tightly around rollers, hoping to wake with perfect curls. The morning unveiling was a moment of truth. School milk was a daily challenge. The small carton was notoriously difficult to open without spilling. The milk, once icy cold, was always lukewarm by snack time. Grandma's sewing machine was human-powered. It ran on a foot treadle, creating a steady rhythm as she guided fabric. It smelled of oil and dust, a machine of pure mechanical skill. Some diners had a different kind of vending. Next to the glass bottle Coke cooler, you might see a cigarette vending machine. A few coins in the slot, a pull of the lever, and a pack would drop down. It was a different world. Tang was linked to heroes. Its powdered drink rode to fame on NASA's coattails. Every kid wanted to drink what the astronauts did, linking that artificial orange flavor to the stars. The rotary phone taught patience. Dialing a number with multiple nines was a slow, deliberate process. A slipped finger meant starting over. The return spin of the dial was a uniquely satisfying sound. Car benches were shared territory. The long front seat meant everyone slid together on turns. The only safety was a parent's instinctive arm across your chest at a sudden stop. Plastic sofa covers were a sticky trial. They protected furniture but trapped heat, making summer sitting a sweaty, adhesive ordeal. They were not to be removed. The Yellow Pages was a multi-tool. It was a directory, a booster seat for kids, a doorstop. Finding a plumber meant flipping through tangible, inky pages. Photography was a leap of faith. You loaded a film canister in the dark, hoping you did it right. Every shot was a commitment, with no preview to check. Canned spaghetti was a weekly staple. Its vibrant color and soft texture were a far cry from Italy, but it was a hot, fast meal that filled hungry bellies. Drive-in theaters were magical. Hanging the heavy speaker on your window, watching a giant screen under the stars, it was an experience that merged cars, community, and cinema. Diapers were a production. Cloth diapers required folding, pinning, soaking, and boiling. Laundry day had a very specific clean scent. Metal toy trucks were built to last. They were heavy, could survive being thrown, and often left dents in walls and floors. They were nearly indestructible companions. Job ads were openly divided. Listings were separated into help-wanted male and help-wanted female. Crossing that divide was a significant societal challenge. Empty bottles were cash. Turning soda bottles to the store earned you a few cents back, which you promptly reinvested in candy. The cycle was beautiful in its simplicity, so the movies came with a bonus. Before the feature, you'd get a cartoon. Bugs Bunny or Tom and Jerry warmed up the audience, making it a full evening of entertainment. A new lunchbox had a signature smell, a scent of vinyl and possibility. Unboxing it released a sweet, chemical aroma that promised adventure, even if the contents were just a bologna sandwich. The interior of a true 1960s home was a bold statement. It was a canvas of daring colors, unconventional textures, and furniture that broke the mold. Let's step inside. The conversation pit was social engineering. This sunken area, filled with cushions, was designed to pull people together for intimate talk. It was architecture fostering connection. Kitchens gleamed with chrome. Toasters, mixers, coffee pots all reflected light and polished metal. It was the aesthetic of a sleek, hygienic, modern future. The kitchen phone had a place on the wall. Often in a color like avocado or yellow, its rotary dial made a distinctive sound as you called each number. It was the kitchen's command center. Bathrooms were unapologetically colorful. Old pink, mint green, or turquoise fixtures created a cohesive, bold look. It was personal expression in the most private room. Music was built into the furniture. The stereo system was housed in a sleek wooden cabinet, a piece of furniture that demanded attention. Playing a record was a deliberate ceremonial act. Walls wore wood paneling. Real wood paneling in walnut or oak added warmth and texture, making rooms feel cozy, intimate, and grounded. Nature was built in. Planters were integrated into room dividers or counters, bringing greenery directly into the living space. It was biophilic design before it had a name. The fondue set meant a party. The pot, the forks, the sterno burner, it was an interactive meal that turned dining into an event. Wallpaper was a bold declaration. Large-scale geometric or floral patterns covered walls, adding drama and personality. It was the opposite of today's safe, neutral paints. The sunken tub was a home spa. Recessed into the floor, and often tiled, it offered a deep, luxurious soak. It transformed a bathroom into a retreat. Diner-style kitchens brought the party home. Checkered floors, chrome accents, and booth seating turned meal prep into a nostalgic, playful experience. A stone wall brought the outdoors in. A wall of river rock or slate added raw, natural texture and a sense of permanence to a living space. The home bar was always ready. A compact built-in bar with a mirrored back and glass shelves made hosting effortless and stylish. Melamine dishes were indestructible. These colorful, lightweight plates could survive drops and were perfect for busy families. Tupperware in harvest gold or avocado kept everything fresh. Lattice dividers defined space softly. They separated rooms while allowing light and air to flow, adding visual interest without building a solid wall. Linoleum floors told a story. Checkerboard or atomic patterned linoleum was durable, easy to clean, and full of personality. The ironing board hid in plain sight. A board that folded down from a closet or cabinet was the pinnacle of space-saving practical design. The television was a piece of furniture. Housed in a big wooden cabinet, the TV was the living room's focal point, around which the family gathered. Tiki decor promised escape. Carved idols, bamboo furniture, and tropical prints brought a sense of vacation and exotic adventure into the suburban home. Furniture was sleek and purposeful. Clean lines, organic shapes, and teak wood defined the mid-century modern look, a style that has never truly gone away. Upholstery was explosively colorful. Couches and chairs in vibrant oranges, greens, and yellows injected energy and optimism into a room. Smoking was built into the decor. Ornate ashtrays and dedicated smoking stands were common living room fixtures, an accepted part of social life. The magazine rack held the world. It organized periodicals like Life and Look, making the week's news and stories easily accessible for the whole family. Game night was sacred. Monopoly, Clue, and the game of life created hours of face-to-face interaction and family bonding long before online gaming. The electric blanket was a winter savior. On cold nights, this marvel radiated warmth, ensuring cozy sleep in houses that were often drafty. We can't go back, but we can remember. What everyday relic from the 1960s do you miss the most? Let me know in the comments. If this trip down memory lane resonated with you, please show your support. It helps the channel Winds of Thought grow. Give this video a like it and subscribe for more journeys into the past. Thanks for watching.